Chapter 14. Melissa had sat for nearly 10 minutes on the step to the house, which now entombed all of the guests. Regardless of the winter coat and clothes she still wore from when she returned to the mansion, Melissa sat shivering in the cold. Vasile could see on his return from sweeping around the property to check for any hidden dangers that she was not handling the situation well and was probably lapsing into shock. To Vasile's mind, the gas, which he was sure had been used to kill those in the property, was having clear adverse effects on her. Sitting anxious and restless on the step, she seemed to have regressed into a state of transfixed panic. Vasile understood from the sweat he could see on her brow that she was in urgent need of medical attention. He couldn't say what kind of damage the gas may have done to her, but he knew that sitting in the freezing cold was not an option. And taking her back into the house was even less of an option. Picking Melissa up from the doorstep, he closed the front door behind her with a slight thud, to which she turned startled and stared wide-eyed and petrified into his eyes. "Where is Francis?" she whispered. "Why have you brought all of this upon us? What have you done to him?" Grabbing Melissa by the shoulders, Vasile held her firmly at arm's length and said, "Melissa, I would never do anything to hurt you or your family. Whoever's responsible for this, they will pay. Francis is alive. He wasn't in there when all of this happened." One of the beads of sweat on Melissa's forehead began to roll down. He could sense that she was not steady on her feet and really did need to see a doctor. She started to sob, and Vasile tried to comfort her, but understood completely that he would not be able to. All of the people who had turned up for what was supposed to be an innocent and joyous occasion this evening now lay dead in her house, and he could give no explanation. Wrapping her arm around his shoulders, they started to walk down towards where Vasile had abandoned his car in the snow. He had had enough trouble making his own way up there, but now with the added extra weight of Melissa, his thighs felt weary. The adrenaline, still pumping through his veins from his morbid discovery, powered him on as they ploughed through the snow together. Having reached the vehicle, Vasile was carrying most of Melissa's weight. Her head hung down, and she appeared to be lapsing in and out of consciousness. Shuffling round to the passenger side, he unlocked the door and dragged it open with one hand. Having opened the door just far enough for her to be able to squeeze in, he sat her down inside the car, lifting her legs into the footwell. Traipsing to the driver's side, he got in and quickly turned the key in the ignition to start circulating some warm air around the cabin. The lights on the dashboard of Vasile's Mercedes immediately illuminated. A simple-looking readout for such a distinguished vehicle. The dials, a monotone blue crystal shade denoting speed, revs, water temperature, petrol and oil. Sitting quietly for a moment, Vasile contemplated how he would get the car out of the drift he had landed it in. Slipping the car into reverse, he began to gently apply his foot to the gas pedal. Releasing the pedal, he rocked the car backward and forward, gathering momentum until finally it was free. Vasile carefully reversed his car out onto the firmer packed snow on the road and glimpsed from the corner of his eye a glowing symbol on his dashboard. Within the speed dial, a glowing orange light subtly warned Vasile that an unknown signal was emanating from within the car. Patting his coat pocket, he remembered that he had turned off his mobile and that Melissa's phone was probably still switched on. The light hadn't been glowing on his way back to the house, which left only one option. "Melissa, your mobile, give it to me," said Vasile. But no response was forthcoming from Melissa, who had slouched over, her head resting upon the passenger side window. The heater had already started blowing warm air around the car, and he hoped that once she was warmer, her condition would improve. As he reached into her coat pocket, he took her mobile phone, checked for anything from Francis, and on seeing a blank screen, turned it off and placed it gently back into her pocket. Checking back to his dashboard, he noticed that the larger glowing orange light had shrunk to its usual green colour. Although he hoped that he would be able to walk out of the situation with the same consummate ease with which he had walked into it, he couldn't help but feel that whoever had carried out this dastardly operation, killing so many people, would still be watching. Would they not have checked to see whether their marks had been killed? Would they not have realised that they had missed their desired targets? Would they not now try to follow Vasil and Melissa? Perhaps this was why he had met no interference. Perhaps this was why they left Melissa alive when they found her during their sweep of the property. Hitting the gas, Vasil spun his wheels slightly as his mind puzzled as to what he should do. Hi, my name's Antony Botting, and I'm the author of the Pebble in the Dark trilogy. If you'd like to hear more of this story, please subscribe to this channel and ring the bell below. See you next time.